Good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. I am Tim, back once again for the Speed Force Racing League GP4 series with a brand new co-commentator for the day. His name is Mansell. Introduce yourself, buddy. Tell him how you doing.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. Making my debut in SFR for commentating, and I think we're going to have a really good race, to be fair.
So Mansell is substituting for Oliver. Oliver, unfortunately, at the last minute, could not make it tonight, but thankfully he had a buddy of Mansell to step in and take his place. So Mansell, you got some pretty big shoes to fill, but you have worked with Oliver in the past, so I think that you'll be up to the task.
Yeah, definitely. As I said before, I've commentated with him in different leagues before, so obviously me and him are really good mates. So yeah, hopefully today will go well for me.
So we actually have to bring you up to speed at what has happened here in SFR for the past couple of races. And Sonic Hawk, who drives the Ferrari, is actually coming off of 3 wins in a row, which is very impressive to say the least, and to say the most, well, speechless, pretty much. It is amazing what he's been able to accomplish. He did not have a good race in Australia, only scoring 4 points, but then he tops it off with a win in Bahrain, Vietnam, and China. He is leading the points by a significant margin, 80 points to Shadowlancer's 52. So that is about, what is that, almost a 30-point gap.
Yeah, about 30 points, yeah. I mean, absolutely incredible from him. I mean, I've looked at the, I've been watching every single race of GP4 so far, and obviously when he comes in for the interviews, he's like, I'm just going to come in with low expectations every race. But I think, in other words, he's actually coming in with high expectations, because at the moment he's won the last 3 races, so he's definitely got very high expectations, I reckon.
And you know, it's really hard sometimes to have high expectations because you're afraid that if you set your oh goodness, and a Haas car is spun around. Who is that?
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. So Need for Speed, he is our first driver almost every single week out on the racetrack for qualifying. Unfortunately, not having the best of times in this particular session, but hey, you know what? We got 16 minutes left, so he has plenty of time to get back around and put on a fresh set of tires. But, you know, you are right about Sonic Hawk, that he's very humble in his interviews, and he says that he's not really expecting much. He's just going to go into the race and see what happens, and in fact, that's what he said about Zandvoort today. But then he'll usually show up and perform, and for the last 3 races, perform very well and win. And it's very hard sometimes to you know, maybe set the bar high for yourself, because if you don't achieve that, you're going to feel bad, and it's just you're going to come crashing down to earth instead of a nice, gentle glide. So I can understand where he's coming from with that, but he really doesn't need to sell himself short. He's done very well. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, we've got the likes of Shadow Lancer and, well, 2 AlphaTauris, Shadow Lancer and Energy Dan, which these 3 guys, even gaming things, these 4 guys, I would say, are definitely in intention for the Drivers' Championship. I mean, I think Sonic will try his best to do try and get close to the AlphaTauris in the Constructors' Championship, but I reckon AlphaTauri might just get the win in the Constructors, and I reckon it's going to go to the final race of the season between these 4 drivers.
And normally I would say that it's a little too early in the season to be calling the Constructors' Championship, but I have to agree with you there, Mansell, that I would not be surprised if at the end of this season AlphaTauri were the Constructors' Championships, because they have a lot of teamwork. You know, a lot of times you see in league racing, there's not teamwork in the teams, and that can be for a number of reasons. You know, either the teams will have multiple drivers throughout the season, or maybe a few drivers will miss, or maybe they just don't get along well, or whatever the reason may be. But with AlphaTauri, we saw it last year with Dan and Hookie, and we're seeing it this year with Dan and Shadowlancer, that they just work well together. Dan helps his teammates help him, and I think that's why they get results. And they're getting pretty good results today. Dan going 3rd quickest so far. Proliver, though, the fastest on the board so far. A 109.826 for the excuse me, I was going to say AlphaTauri, but actually the Alfa Romeo driver, so the other Alpha team on the grid. And look at it's your boy Alfie in the Williams going second, a 109.980.
Wow. Amazing. Absolutely fantastic so far in this qualifying session. It's so close already, and we're only, what, 7 minutes into the qualifying session, so I'm expecting a close race today.
Yeah, pretty much. Only about, a little more than half the drivers have been able to set a time so far, so already we're getting these times so very close. But, you said that you've been watching the GP4 races this season, so that's really what you expect here, is we really have an incredibly competitive class. And the thing is this is our, technically, this sounds bad saying it, but it is what it is. This is our slowest league. GP4 is for the slower drivers, and then GP3, either you're a little faster, GP2, you're a little faster than GP3, and so on. But just because they're not as fast as GP1 doesn't mean that they're not as competitive. And I think that that's what we're seeing here already in qualifying.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And look at Kara. Kara going second quickest now. Kara has been one this season to qualify really well. And even at the end of last season, he was doing well in the qualifying races. But now, this season, he's got a little bit more that he's been shooting for, I've noticed. He's not just qualifying well. He seems to be running well, every now and again. And we're very early on in the season, so who knows how it's going to turn out and where he's going to end up once we finish in Abu Dhabi. But Kara has miraculously improved this season, and I just got to say, big congratulations to him. I don't believe that he's been able to walk away with a win yet, but if he keeps running well, it's only going to be a matter of time.
Yeah, definitely. So with the boy Alfie, he got an amazing podium in the last race, so he's got really good momentum going up into this race, and at the moment he's doing an amazing job up into P3.
That he is, and that Williams car, it's your boy Alfie really does seem to like it. Shadow Lancer, who is second in points, was actually in that Williams car last season, and he was telling us that sometimes he does miss the Williams, but now that he's starting to get some podiums and is second in the points, I think he loves that AlphaTauri.
Yeah, definitely. Because I reckon Energy Jan is also Shadow Lancer's mentor, because as you can see, Shadow Lancer's definitely improved from last season.
That he has, and really a lot of drivers that raced with us last season that are now with us this season have improved. And that's something that I really like to see, because the longer you do this, you're going to get better. You're going to get better lap times the more practice you get in and the more racing that you get in. But it's just nice to actually see that progression in real time instead of just hearing about it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Currently watching Gamey Things. He's on his out lap in that Racing Point machine. Going to ride on board with him. Gets very loose out of that corner, so he's going to have to be careful there. But, hey, you know what? He's keeping it on track, and that's what matters. Going through this nice, high-banked right-hander. I love this corner. It is amazing. Reminds me a lot of the NASCAR tracks, the ovals over here in America. But it's going the wrong way. It's turning to the right. But, hey, you know what? I don't care. It's still amazing.
Yeah. I think that last time we had a banking like that, I think it was in the Korean Grand Prix. Back in, I think the last race there was about 2012 or something like that. So we haven't had a banking like that since about 2012. So it's nice to see that we've got a banking like that back in the game and in real F1.
And I can't wait until these F1 cars in real life actually do make it to Zandvoort. Obviously, with the pandemic last year, they were not able to make it, but hopefully soon they will be able to get there, because I want to see that in real life. I mean, I cannot make the trip over there to the Netherlands to see it, but I do want to see it at least on TV, because it would just be miraculous to see. And Gamey Things looking very loose here, so it looks like he's struggling for grip. Very surprising for Gamey Things. He's one of those drivers, if you're not aware, that he'll be very quiet during the race usually, but he's always close to a podium, and there at the end he'll sneak by and just snatch it.
Yeah, I've been watching him this season so far, and you are right there. He's always quiet in the race, but then towards the end of the race, he's always in the mix for at least a podium.
Gamey Things going fifth quickest, a 1:10.011 for the Racing Point driver. Now we got more drivers coming out on track. Let's take a look at Otaku Logan in the Mercedes. He is on his flying lap in that number 98 Mercedes. Going to ride on board with him. Zandvoort is such a quick track. It's not a track that I actually know very well, unfortunately, but when I have drove on it, I have so much fun. But it's still a very difficult track.
Yeah, definitely. It's so satisfying when you get every single apex right. I mean, I did some time trial earlier. But yeah, it's so satisfying, this track. It really is.
And this little section that Otaku Logan just went through actually reminds me of the end of Sector 1 of Vietnam, which Vietnam is actually my nemesis for a track, so hate to actually be reminded of that place, but since I love Zandvoort, I will let it pass.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I got my first points in GP1 in Vietnam a couple of weeks ago, but I don't think there's many people that doesn't like Vietnam, and this is definitely the better track out of the two.
That it is, and look at Otaku Logan. He went fastest, a 109.758, and now Kara going fastest, a 109.602.
Stoxy 9 goes up to second in the Haas.
So already we're having a lot of drivers besting their previous time. Otaku Logan third now with Stoxy 9 in second, Kara in first. Proliver, who was previously the quickest, all the way down in fourth. Energy Dan in fifth place. And let's talk about Energy Dan for a moment. We were talking about AlphaTauri and how they're good teammates, but I think we expected a lot more from Dan this season after seeing what he was able to do last season. And it's not that he hasn't performed well. I just think that we expected him to be winning practically every race when he's just kind of hung out. He's got some consistent finishes and podiums. He just hasn't had the results that we expected, and definitely not the ones that he wants.
He's just... Overall, he's just been really, really unlucky with those drive-through penalties he's been given.
Did you see Racing Podge there spin, or just about spin, through that high bank left-hander? He clipped a curb and slid. I thought he was going around.
No, I didn't catch that there, but yeah, very, very lucky for him there.
And Podge Racing, he's another driver that we really expected more out of, and it's not that he hasn't had the pace, he just hasn't had the luck. It's like every race, something is happening to him, and he just needs, his rainbow is long overdue. Yeah, definitely. Racing Podge, obviously, he's been in the points, but near the bottom of the points, and if they want to contend for the constructors with AlphaTauri, he needs to be up there with Sonic Hawk. That he does. Sonic Hawk, of course, on his out lap now while we watch his teammate complete his flying lap. Going to turn to the comments here for just a moment. We actually have a question for you, Mansell. Rage Hunter tuning in, saying, Mansell, being the fast driver you are, talk us through your expected pit strategies for this race. After practice, it seems track position is key here. Yeah,
track position is very key here. I reckon... It's like we've seen with the past races. It's the top 10 are going to be softs, obviously, and then normally between 11th and 20th they're normally starting on the medium or hard. So I think we're going to see the same again here. So basically, the top 10 will probably do a 2-stop soft, medium, soft, and I reckon the bottom half will probably just do a medium, soft if they can.
All right.
But then saying that, Sonic Hawk, he's really like pushed his tyres to the absolute tyre where he can be, because he's been doing a soft medium throughout these races. So Sonic Hawk, I reckon he could do it again here.
Well, we will find out momentarily, but you heard it here from the GP1 driver himself, the pit strategy. So if any GP4 drivers are listening, they might just steal your strategy, Mansell.
They might so.
Sonic Hawk having a little bit of a wiggle out of that corner there. In the third and final sector, through the final corner now. Let's see if he's able to get the fastest lap. I don't believe so, but we'll wait and see, as Proliver is currently fastest with a 109.470. Sonic Hawk goes second quickest, a 109.506.
Very, very close between the top 10, I would say, already. They're already in with the second of each other, the top 11 already. That's how close it is between the field and GP4.
And that is just outstanding, I have to say. Now taking a look at Need for Speed Harry. I think he might have just invalidated his lap. Let's take a look at the track map. No, he's actually A-okay. So Harry, currently in the 17th position, going to look for an improvement on that, and I think he will improve his lap time, but by how much? No, actually, a bit of a slow lap there for Harry. Unfortunate for him. He's another driver that just has had a lot of bad luck this season. He's looking to turn it around. Thankfully for him, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So even if he starts in 17th, if he can climb his way up through that pack, he can get some points.
Yep, definitely. I mean, he nearly spun the car there, but he was able to keep it on track there. But yeah, as you were saying, let's go back to Vietnam. This is about me. In GP1, I qualified P17. Then I was able to leap of speed, lost his front wing, spun. But I think will he have time? I think he'll have time to get back for a new front wing and try again. But yeah, as I was saying again, I started P17 at Vietnam Grand Prix and was able to finish P9. So you know, anything's possible.
That it is, and if it's gonna happen, or if it can happen, it will in SFR. Currently looking at Gizlodi as he crosses the line. He does not improve his lap time, still 1:11.565. So unfortunate there for the Red Bull driver. Gizlodian, a driver that sometimes has got the pace, sometimes he doesn't. Looks like Zandvoort is not agreeing with him today, but a big lockup through that corner is just going to disagree with him even more. Let's take a look now at the McLaren driver of Liverpool FC Pro. Oliver's brother, actually. He is on his outlap. He is our newly promoted full-time driver as of last week. He is replacing Sykomich in that McLaren. Sykomich, unfortunately, not able to race with us this season, so we hope to have him back soon. But in the meantime, Liverpool FC Pro will take that seat, and so far he's done decent. I don't believe he has been able to score points yet, but he has been on the threshold, so he just needs to get a little bit more pace, and then he can get that monkey off his back.
Yep, definitely. If he keeps pushing the way he is now, he will definitely be able to score his first points in GP4, and I reckon it will be very soon when he gets those points.
So starting his flying lap now, going into turn number 1. Let's ride on board with him for the entire lap. No, we won't, because he spins, clips that curve. You got to be very careful there, and he's going to have to be careful here to not block the pit lane. He did get out in time, so not a disqualification for him, thankfully. Going to take a look, though, at VXI now, a driver we have not really talked about much in this session, but we'll ride on board with him for his qualifying lap and see what he can do as Podge Racing goes second quickest.
Wow. As I said, it's very close between the top 10. Very close.
And look at the difference between second and third. Podge Racing a 109.437, Proliver with a 109.470. So that's just a matter of hundredths.
Wow. I'm getting excited for this race now. Very excited.
Calvin Racing tuning in, saying evening boys. James Hook tuning in, saying evening gents. Good evening to each and every one of you. And Rage Hunter, new league idea. That reminds me of something I promised you I would do. So SFR has recently created a brand new league, but not for F1. It's actually a GT Sport League. Unfortunately, I wanted to race in it, but am not available. So that means that there's just one other, well, there's more than one spot available, but there's an extra spot available that was going to be mine, unfortunately. But if anyone watching is interested in joining SFR and racing in the GT Sport League, then talk to Energy Dan or Sonic Hawk or Rage Hunter, and they will get you in that league if there is room. So VXI, a little bit of an improvement, a 111.029, good enough for 14th. We are winding down to the last little bit of the qualifying session. Let's take a look at Sonic Hawk one last time. He's on his flying lap, undoubtedly going to be his final lap. Let's see if he can get that pole position. It's a 109.506 for him right now, but as he crosses the line, does he improve? He does not. Gonna stay in fifth.
He's gonna go for another lap.
Okay, well, let's see what he does. So qualifying is over. The drivers who have crossed the line before the timer will be able to complete their lap, but those checkered flags that you see on the leaderboard means that their qualifying is officially done. So Sonic Hawk can go for another lap, Proliver can go for another lap, and Kara, who is currently our pole sitter, can go for another lap as well.
Just very interesting here. Need for Speed is on his lap on the medium tyres. Oh, not anymore. He's spun. He's spun again. I don't think this is a very strong track for Need for Speed here.
Unfortunately, it does not appear so, and I can understand why he would try to go on the medium tires, because ideally, if you have the pace on the medium tires, it's good to start on them because you can extend that first stint even more. The problem is if you're not qualifying in the top 10, then it's a moot point anyway, as there's a Renault driver who is that spinning around. I think that is Kara, so he will not be able to complete that lap, or at least not a fast lap that time. But yeah, Need for Speed, if he had the top 10 pace on those medium tires, then he would be sitting very pretty for the race. Unfortunately, just not the case for him today.
No, unfortunately not. Hopefully it'll do well in a race.
I mean, you said it yourself that you were able to come from back to a points-paying position, so Need for Speed certainly can as well. And who knows what's going to happen in the race. It might very well be a crazy race, though, and we're about to find out here in just a little bit. Watching the last few drivers, well, not actually, they have completed their laps, just watching the AI drive for them until we run out the clock. But that is Shadow Lancer in 10th, Energy Dan in 9th, and that is actually very surprising to see, as the two AlphaTauri drivers barely making the top 10.
Even Sonic in P6.
So it looks like Kara has officially gotten the pole. So congratulations to Kara. Here's your official starting lineup for the GP4 Series Zandvoort Grand Prix. Kara in first, Gamey Things in second, Podge Racing in third, Itchy Boy Alfie in fourth, Proliver in fifth, Sonichawk in sixth, seventh is Stoxy 9, eighth is Otaku Logan, ninth is Energy Dan, Shadow Lancer in 10th, Saneth in 11th, 12th is Fanny Line, Liverpool FC Pro in 13th, VXI in 14th, 15th is Phantom Shadow, and then in Gizlodium with the 16th position. 17th is Need for Speed Lewis in 18th, and 19th is the Bear. Just one car short of a full grid out there today. So we was hoping for a full grid for all these races this season. Today is the first time that we do not have the full grid, but hey, 19 drivers, that is still nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah, definitely. We've already getting predictions in for their race predictions, let's say. Rage Hunter saying, I'm going to go for podium. Kara, Sonic, Podge is on the podium, he says. And we've also got James Hook saying that in no particular order, Kara, Sonic, Gamey, and Podge. Or Podge.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with them to some extent. I think that Kara is going to have a podium here today. I think Podge is as well. And you know what? Not to steal your suggestion there, but I'm going to have to agree with James Hook completely. Kara, Sonic, and Podge.
Yeah, I mean, for my predictions, I'm going to say Sonic, in no particular order. I'm going to say Sonic, Kara, and I want to see one of those. I think one of those AlphaTauris will just nick a podium. So I'm going to say Energy Dan.
Energy Dan, I believe he likes this track. However, I have not been able to talk to him before the race today, so I could be very wrong about that. But you got to understand, from my view, it's like Energy Dan likes every track, because he's just so ready to jump in that car and race no matter what. He's very passionate about what we do here at SFR, and he is one of the league admins, so that's always good to see. So imagine if he does get a podium here today. He will be ecstatic in the interview.
Yeah, he'll be very happy if he gets a podium today.
So just now commencing with our formation lap. Let's take a look at the tire strategies here. So, of course, the top 10 starting on the soft tire, but they qualified on the soft tire, so that is per regulation. Saneth and Fanny Line going for the mediums, as well as BXI, Phantom Shadow, Gizlodian, and Need for Speed. Every other driver on the soft tires. Nobody trying the hard-to-soft strategy, as we saw last week. So it's a full sea of yellow and red on that leaderboard.
So it could possibly be a one-stop then. Soft to mediums. Or soft, medium, softs.
Possibly.
Interesting.
And it is going to be very interesting to see at the end of this race which strategy does prevail, because, you can have the best strategy and still lose the race. So it's that's what I love about motorsports in general. Not just esports, but just motorsports in general. Is pit strategy is so important, but it's
so important, yeah.
But it's definitely not the the final say in the factor. There's so many things that can go right and so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even safety cars can change everything, even strategy and race-wise, everything. It's like a total different race when the safety car comes out.
That it is, and not to mention, it has to come out at the right time for a driver.
Yeah.
Because if it comes out at the wrong time, then they can find themselves, you can find a podium running car barely finishing in 5th because of a safety car. And you can find a guy that was struggling to stay in the top 5 all of a sudden be up for a podium.
Exactly, yeah. The safety car can change everything in the race.
And if we have one today, and I would almost say that we will, then you know it's going to change a lot of things for these drivers who are just now finding their appropriate positions on the grid. And I think that they're just as anxious as we are, maybe even a little bit more. Final drivers finding their place on the grid. And you know that they are ready to go. We're ready to go up here in the booth. The Zandvoort Grand Prix about to go underway. You hear those engines revving. You hear those itchy pedal feet. The drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Speed Force Racing GP4 Series Zandvoort Grand Prix. Cara getting a big jump out ahead of the racing point of Gamey Things into turn number 1. We have a big shuffle in the back for position. It's 3 wide, and there is contact. Well, there's a Williams spinning around. A Mercedes spinning around, I do believe. Who is that?
I think it was Tucker Logan. With might be it's your boy Alfie. I think it might be them two that made contact.
A lot of contact there into turn number 1. The track narrows, and it just got a little bit too dicey for these drivers. Cara still leading the way ahead of Gamey Things. And behind him is Podge Racing in that Ferrari with Proliver rounding it out in 4th, and 5th is Energy Dan. Energy Dan started in 9th, and he's already up to 5th. How does that work?
You just need to get a really good start, and that's exactly what he's done.
So let's take a look at Podge Racing's view here. He's got the best view of this battle for the lead, and he's involved in it as well. A little bit of a wiggle out of that corner, but A-okay. Going through the grass just a little bit, trying to get the best arc through that corner, using every bit of curve that he's allowed to do. Out of the final corner, Cara will lead the first lap, have the fastest lap. Gamey Things following closely in 2nd. Gamey Things actually making a move on the outside of Cara, not able to do anything with it, maybe trying to cross over. Will he be able to hang on to it? This isn't really a passing zone, so he's going to have to be patient and wait. Looks like Podge Racing was going to take a look on the inside, not able to do anything with that. Gamey Things riding in 2nd, trying to chase down that Renault. Podge just on it out for a Sunday drive, waiting for the drivers in front of him to mess up.
It's definitely waiting game, isn't he? Podge, I reckon. Definitely waiting for the right opportunity to make the move.
And that's the smartest thing to do, especially when you're only on lap 2 of the race. Because it's a long race ahead of us, no reason to get too impatient too early on. But even still, it's very hard to tell yourself that, because when you see a gap, when you see a chance to improve your position, instinctively you want to take it, even if it's not the smartest thing to do. So it takes a lot of self-control and a lot of intelligence for a driver to just sit back and say, let's wait a minute, there will be more opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just inviting Oliver because he's saying that he's going to join us in the comms here.
So, last minute news, Oliver is going to join us. So we're going to have a 3-man booth here today. So as soon as he joins, we will get his perspective on this track as well. And there he is, join the party. Going to give him a couple of minutes to get sorted and get his microphone on and everything that he has to do. Cara still leading the way with Gamey Things in 2nd, Podge Racing 3rd, Proliver 4th, Energy Dan in 5th. That is your top 5.
So Energy Dan can do anything to get a podium, even the win. He's in contention for the win now, and now he's up in 5th.
Trying to get to Energy Dan's car, just a moment here. There you see him just kind of riding around, getting close to Proliver. And, you know, you can almost throw a blanket over the top 5 cars. Just to show you how close this really is. And Zandvoort is one of those tracks that always produces a good race, but Energy Dan did have a little bit of a wobble with a curve there, so he's now dropping back closer to Sonicock, who is in 6th. But really, we have essentially what could be a 6-car battle for the lead here in just a moment.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you lot.
And Oliver is here. How are you doing?
Not too bad. You really think you're going to miss out with me for that long, Tim?
I didn't know why you weren't here, but hey, you're here now. We have a 3-man booth, Tim, Oliver, and Mansell.
Yeah. So give me an invite to the session. I'll join you guys in just a second.
Yep, I'll do that for you.
Thank you, Mansell. So what's the update at the moment, Tim?
Well, Carr is leading the race. Gamey Things in 2nd. Podge Racing in 3rd. Energy Dan, though, probably the biggest story of this race so far. Started in 9th, has made his way up to 5th place after a miraculous start. There was some contact in turn 1 by a few different drivers. It was It's Your Boy Alfie, possibly Otaku Logan as well. It was a big shuffle, so we really couldn't tell who all was involved, but a lot of drivers definitely unhappy after that. The Energy Dan's teammate Shadow Lancer running in 8th place now, which is just 2 positions higher than when he qualified. So the AlphaTauri drivers did not have the best qualifying position.
So pretty much the biggest high runner at the moment of the media runners is Gislonia. Gislonia is doing very well on those media tires at the moment.
Yeah, and it looks like Liverpool FC Pro, your brother of all people, just took him out of the top 10. So Gislonia now in 11th as Liverpool is able to race on by and just hang out in that top 10. Gislonia with a big lock up there going into that corner. You got to be very, very careful going into that corner. I think I heard it called once upon a time lock-up corner, just because it's so easy to lock up in it because you're carrying so much speed. And yes, we do have a virtual safety car.
I think that was for VXI. He retired from the race.
Lewis is far back. He's like 15 seconds behind Otaku Logan as well. So, yeah, right now it's looking very interesting moment. But yeah, good start for Energy Dan. Like I said, the biggest winner out of all the start positions. Let me look at the start positions, actually, out of all of that. Because I think he gained so many gains out of the start. Let's have a look. Penalties, size, position. Yeah, so Dan's gained 4 positions on that. Liverpool, also the Bear, has gained 10 positions off the start. The Bear with an incredible start, Tim.
Pod and Gaming Things.
Oh, let's have a look.
Let's find it out. Pod's trying to go around the outside, but he doesn't make it. And Gaming Things does keep the position.
Ooh.
Podge Racing, I thought he was going to maybe try to go around the outside, but just trying to get a good line through that corner. We were talking about just before you got here, Oliver, that Podge is trying to play it safe here today just by what we're observing. And sure, it's early on in the race, so you would expect that anyway, but I think that today he just wants a good finish as he does clip the gravel there, though.
Yeah, Alfie, the 5-second penalty spin in the pit lane, I think he's going to retire. Yes, he is. So, yeah, I think Podge, because we all know he had the most rotten bit of luck out of anyone here in SFR. So, Podge really, really wants to get a real good result today to show himself that he is he's pretty much one of the most experienced drivers on the grid. So, really, he wants to make a very good result today, as he still pressuring Gamey Things. So, hopefully Podge could get a good result today, and hopefully a good run for the podium today. Is that Need for Speed? So what's happened to Phantom Shadow? Phantom Shadow spun somewhere, Need for Speed's gone past him, so Phantom Shadow had a bit of a moment.
And he does have front wing damage.
He does as well.
Side.
So Phantom Shadow, he actually said in the comments, he was the first driver to comment on the stream today that he was nervous. I guess for good reason. Apparently he does not agree with Zandvoort all that well, and very unfortunate for him. Hey, the race isn't over yet. Maybe he can squeeze out the top 10 here and get some points, but the battle for second is really heating up between Podge and Gamey Things. Podge can't really seem to get underneath Gamey Things to make a move quite yet, but he is there, practically glued to the back of that racing point, and that's actually allowing Proliver and the Alfa Romeo to get a lot closer to these drivers than probably
side by side, Stocksy 9 and Sonic are having a little bit of a squabble there, but looks like they settled down. But yeah, in Infinity, there comes Racing Podge down the outside. Now he's got to go to the inside line. Gaming his Podge side by side. Gamefy still holds on the outside line. Gamefy's going to go out of shade. Very close there, Tim.
Very close indeed. Podge Racing actually going through the gravel a little bit there, and now he is basically glued to the back of that car again, and now he's going on the inside, going down the straightaway, but he is not going to have that momentum. That high bank corner really gives you momentum on the outside, but look at Podge. He's going to make a move on the inside. He's got the preferred line, but will he be able to make the pass there? Podge spins. He clips the curb.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Racing Podge again with the luck, Tim. It's his luck again.
And look at this now. We got Stocksy 9 and 6, Sonic Hawk in 5th. Just in front of him, Energy Dan and Proliver battling with Gamey Things, all for 2nd place.
Oh, this is good. And in a fitting that we got a bank corner on this track, and it's Daytona 500 weekend this week. Ain't that fitting? Ain't that really fitting?
It is very fitting, and you know I love you for mentioning that.
Why not? Why not?
Because I'm excited for Daytona. But we do have to get through this, and my goodness, as much as I would love to talk about Daytona right now, I just can't, because look at the battle between Sonic Hawk, Stocksy 9, and Shadowlancer. Stocksy 9 just sending it. What a miraculous send that Stocksy 9 did there.
Wow!
And you know what? Sonic's got front wing damage.
Oh, yes, he not. Oh, he has.
He has. I don't know if it was from
no.
that accident or what, but he has got front wing damage.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness. Now Sonic Hawk, he was not very confident going into this race. He said that he was just going to kind of ride around and try to get a good position and not worry about the win. But that damage is not going to do him any favors regardless of what he's trying to do here. And look at Energy Dan, or excuse me, Shadowlancer locking up and getting close to him. I think he might have a little bit of wing damage as well. I can't get a good look at that car.
Otago Logan out. Otago Logan out on the main straight.
And we have another virtual safety car.
Oh, man. Not a good day for Merck. We got one left now. Speaking of Merck, we actually got some news from Formula 1 that Lewis Hamilton has signed a new contract. Only a 1-year deal, though. So, isn't that Hamilton probably thinking that it's going to be his retirement season?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I reckon he's going to go for the 8th championship, and that will be it for him.
What a shame. Well, what career he's had, though.
I think it's possible, but too early to tell, because you hear the drivers talk a lot about if they're having fun, then they don't want to quit, but if they're not having fun, then
oh, Podge!
Oh, a 3-second time penalty for Podge Racing. A bad day goes to worse for him. We were saying that his rainbow is long overdue, and that's not here today. Shadowlancer going on the inside of Sonic Hawk, which update for you, Shadowlancer does not have any wing damage, so he should be able to make this pass rather easy once he gets a good position.
But Mansell said this before, I think he might have mentioned, I don't know if he did, that Zandvoort is hard to overtake us due to the fact it's so far, so narrow. So Shadowlancer really has to plan the overtake really well.
I think he'll be able to do it, but the question is when. He's probably going to have to do a full sin like Stocksy 9 did. He's looking. He's definitely looking. He just cannot get around him. So riding on board with Stocksy 9, he's got a good view of this battle.
Shadowlancer's looking. He is looking because Sonic Hawkins got understeer from the front wing. Now he goes for it. Oh, double lock up from the... Yes, good work for Shadowlancer. Sonic Hawk trying to switch back. No, Shadowlancer cuts him off. Yeah, Sonic Hawkins suffering front downforce here. He is really... You can tell. And Mansell, with new due to front wings, Zandvoort plays a big part due to front wings here.
Oh, definitely. If you don't have that front wing, you're losing a lot of downforce, and I mean a lot.
But Sonic Hawk doesn't feel phased by it, though, doesn't he?
Well, he's definitely trying to keep this 4th position as much as he can, because he really needs these points now. Really needs them.
Yeah, if he wants to keep his team in the championship, then yeah, obviously it has to be the case.
Well, he made a nice move going to turn 1 on Shadowlancer. The question is, will he be able to hold him off? Shadowlancer, it looks like Sonic Hawk is faster than him in the first sector. Sonic Hawk goes wide, and now Shadowlancer looking on the inside, but he has to back out of it to avoid hitting him, and that's going to allow Stocksy 9 to fill that hole, and now it's 3 cars battling it out. Stoxy 9 trying to get around Shadow Lancer, but cannot quite do it. Shadow Lancer making that car as wide as a building right now. Sonic Hawk just hanging on, keeping Shadow Lancer at bay. This is where Shadow Lancer made the move last time. Sonic Hawk learned from his mistakes and protects that outside line. So Sonic Hawk will keep the 4th position this time around. But Shadow Lancer, he is there, and he is waiting to pounce around this high-banked right-hander now. Let's see if he can get a better run out of that corner than Sonic Hawk did. Sonic Hawk was able to make the move into turn number 1 last time. Let's see if Shadow Lancer turns the tables on him. Shadow Lancer gonna have the... And Sonic Hawk goes in, so Shadow Lancer will make the pass by default. But now let's take a look at Stoxy 9 going into turn number 1, and he is so very close to Shadow Lancer.
I'll tell you now, the soft tire was worn out. The soft tire runners would actually feel the pain of being on this 11 lap old softs now, because they will feel the burn of these bank circuits. So, because you know in NASCAR, Tim, when it comes to bank corners, they punish tires a lot. Yes, you can go fast around them, but they do degrade ever so quickly. It's unbelievable how much tires can go through bank corners.
Yeah, you are exactly right about that, Oliver, and Zandvoort is definitely no exception. It's not that we just have that one right-hander. I mean, a lot of these corners have at least some minor degree of banking built into them, but then you have 1 or 2 that are just extreme banking, so that is definitely going to wear the tires down significantly. And not to mention, every time you use too much curb, that's going to wear the tires down just a little bit. If you get wheel spin, it's going to wear them down a little bit. There's a lot of variables that go into how fast the tires wear. So the fact that they have made 11 laps on these tires to begin with is amazing.
Let's see what the others could do. So Bears going in, Liverpool FC Pro's going in. Can we just say, fair shout to Liverpool FC Pro here. This is his third or fourth race. And he's actually doing very well. He's actually in the points. He's making a scheduled stop now. The FC Pro's doing a very good job out here, Tim, on his third race.
That he is, as you said, in the points paying position, at least for now, but he has since lost that. But he's making a pit stop, and it looks like he's going the soft to hard strategy. A lot of drivers are as well. Our leader of Kara, who pitted that lap as well, now in was our leader, now in 3rd place. He's going the soft to hard strategy. And with Shadow Lancer and Stoxy 9 being very close ahead of him, he's going to get the lead back as soon as these drivers pit. And they're going to have to pit sooner rather than later.
So, Manso, I just saw Sonic go into the soft tyres. Is that wise?
Well, it's definitely going to be a mixed strategy. I think it's going to be soft to hards or soft, medium, soft. So I think it's definitely going to be very close between the 1 stop and the 2 stop again.
I mean, of course, you got the other cars as well. We've got a car in the back of Stoxy 9 right now. Against, it's super fresh, hard against very worn soft tyres. It's a pretty easy overtake for Kara. But right now, have we got other drivers in? We've pretty much got interesting strategies here. We've got Sonic Hawk on the softs, just slowly and still going out on the mediums. It's just only playing out for the soft tyre strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stoxy, I think what they're trying to do, I think if they want to go onto the hards until the end, I think the soft runners need to go as many laps as they can, so they save tyre wear on the hards. But it seems like, I don't know, it's very difficult again between the 1 stop and the 2 stop.
Ferraris are close together, Tim.
That they are, and Sonic Hawk actually just made a move on his teammate into turn number 1. And I think what Sonic Hawk is trying to do here is, since he had that wing damage, he's trying to think, okay, I've got the pace, but now I have to make up the time lost after getting the damaged wing. So maybe he thinks that doing the 2-stop strategy with soft, then mediums will help him gain that time, because you have a significant amount of time, of a faster time, on the soft tires than you do the hard tires. It's just the nature of the tires. So maybe that's what Sonic Hawk is going after. We'll see if it works out for him. We've seen strategies like that work before. So it's just really luck of the draw. But we're closing in on halfway. So he's running out of time to do stuff with. He's got plenty of time now, but he's going to have to get by Shadow Lancer here sooner rather than later if he wants to keep moving toward the front.
Racing Porsche just get ahead of Stoxy 9 there, so good work for Racing Porsche to jump Stoxy 9, so hopefully Racing Porsche can actually build from that. But Mansell, as a driver, what's happened to Need for Speed? Need for Speed's crashed out. on the exit of turn 1.
Yeah,
He had a little spin. Yeah, he had a little spin. Need for Speed struggling again. After a good point position in China, he's not having a happy day in Holland.
Need for Speed, he did not have the best qualifying session either, unfortunately. Spun out trying to go for a faster time, so looks like Zandvoort just does not agree with him.
We've got Gislodian and Shadow Lancer Tim.
Took Gislodian and Shadow Lancer. Shadow Lancer has pitted for the hard tires. Gislodian still on
Gislodian's
old
not
mediums.
fighting.
Yeah.
He just did not fight Shadow.
No, he didn't. He just literally just pulled straight back and just let Shadow Lancer through.
Because he's coming in.
And he's on
I'll be
those
very
old
interested.
mediums. Go ahead.
I'm interested to see what tires he goes on. What tires are going on? Hards from the medians. Wow, that's interesting.
So all these hard runners can definitely go to the end now.
Apart from Sonic Hawk.
That's why I said hards.
Sonic Hawk, though, trying to work on Shadow Lancer here. 0.3 of a second separating these drivers, but as you were saying earlier, this track is very hard to pass on. It's so very narrow. There's not a lot of opportunities to really overtake a driver. So Sonic Hawk is going to have to time this out right, and it seems like this straightaway that we're at now is really the best opportunity for drivers to pass because it's a DRS straight, and you can make a move on the inside or the outside. As Sonic Hawk goes on the inside, maybe a little bit of contact between those two drivers. Sonic Hawk says, move out of my way. It's my turn to go in front of you.
So, what is Sonic Hawk trying to prove here, Mansell? Is he trying to go on the soft sides and go as fast as he can to make a gap to a person and try to get...
Yeah, he's definitely trying to go for the aggressive strategy. He's just going to try and go as fast as he can, gain as much positions as possible, try and gain as much time as he can, and then when he comes onto the mediums, and he's going to push again, like how?
So is Sonic Hawk playing for a safety car then?
Interesting you say that, because if he came out in the mediums as well, he could still gain his position back, but if like I said, if it's a safety car just come out, it will definitely be up there again for the win.
True point, because all the other cars had to stop in front of him.
Yeah. But if we got a late safety car now, and all the hard runners didn't come in, which I'm probably expecting them to come in as well, but if they didn't come in, Sonic Hawk will definitely have the tyre advantage.
Indeed so. And Sonic Hawk actually set a purple sector as well.
And he is really working on that Alfa Romeo car. I do believe that is the lap car, though, of Lewis.
It's Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah, so Sonic Hawk not able to get around him quite yet, but now he's able to get around him in that high bank corner. Lap 18 of 36 now, so that is halfway mark.
Podge Shadow.
Let's see what Podge is able to do. He looks on the inside. Shadow Lancer a little bit quicker around that corner, is able to keep him behind him. Looks like Podge went just a little bit wide, so shoved off a little bit of time there. But hanging on to it, a big lockup from Shadow, though. Take a look at that. So Podge Racing should be able to capitalize on that mistake, but wasn't quite able to do it. And, you know, Podge, he seems like he's got the pace around here, but it just doesn't seem as fast as maybe he wasn't qualified.
It just fits just the nature of the circuit, in my opinion, that because it just rubbers in. When it rubbers in, it gets faster and faster, but also you can, because it's so quick, it's easy to make a mistake. And with this bank corner from the curves, easy to make a mistake. So it's all about a balance of being patient and going quickly at the same time. And Shadow Lancer has locked up again. Has Shadow Lancer been too aggressive on the brakes there, Tim?
I actually was not watching Shadow Lancer at the moment.
Oh, Podge again with another penalty.
Unfortunate for Podge. It's just getting worse and worse as his teammate has set the fastest lap of the race. But Podge, even though he's running in 7th, has penalties. In fact, let's take a look at the penalties here for just a moment. You see Podge has, what is that, 6 seconds or 8 seconds? I do believe that is 6.
That is 6, yeah, he's got 6 seconds.
So 6 seconds with the time penalties for Podge Racing there in the Ferrari. Definitely not what he's looking for here today. currently looking at Liverpool FC Pro, though. Going to take a look at Stoxy 9 because he is closer to Pod. 1.1
If you mentioned Liverpool FC Pro, Tim, you have mentioned it because now if Liverpool FC Pro just does what he does, carry on what he's doing, he can cross the line in 9%, but with Podge getting that 6 seconds worth of penalties, Liverpool FC Pro could get 8th position because of Podge's penalties. He could do it.
And Oliver, correct me if I'm wrong, but if he was able to finish in 9th or 8th place or even 10th today, that would be his first points in SFR.
Indeed it will be, and I'll be very happy for my brother if he do that.
He's definitely got a very good opportunity to finish in the points.
The championship rivals are going side by side.
Sonic Hawk side by side with Energy Dan going around the outside. Energy Dan has to back out. Now what's Dan going to do here? He can't do anything. Sonic Hawk had a miraculous amount of momentum out of that corner. Those soft tires still showing that they have life in them. Energy Dan is nothing but a sitting duck on those hard tires right now. Sonic Hawk, a man on a mission to get out as far ahead of these drivers as he possibly can before he has to inevitably pit again for mediums.
But this is the thing. I think Dan's playing it safe here. He's got to let Sonic Hawk burn the tires out. He has to come in again, and then after that will be easy taking candy away from a baby. It's literally that simple. I think Dan is just literally biding his time.
You might be right about that, Oliver. You know, Dan, this is definitely not his first rodeo. He knows what he's doing here, and he's proven that he can run well. He's proven he can win races. And he's not had the season so far this year that we expected, but he's still been fairly consistent.
You're going to say something then, Mansell, weren't you?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, there's no point fighting Sonic because obviously the softs, you've got more grip on the softs and hard, so you just want to run your own race at this point. Just try and keep as close as you can to Sonic Hawk, not fighting him, otherwise you're going to lose more time.
True. Still good 5 for 6 though.
Stoxy 9 riding on board with him as he's slowly getting closer to Podge racing ahead of him. Podge getting even closer to Shadow Lancer. This has been a battle that's been going on for a while now, and it just seems like Podge cannot get around that Alpha Tower. But it is 2.3 seconds to Shadow Lancer's teammate ahead of him. So the field is really starting to get spread out here.
Lewis retires. Unlucky for him. But like you said before, Tim, it's just so hard to overtake. But with the bank corners, knowing your NASCAR experience, is there still different lines you can take the bank corners to get some faster lines, or do you have to stick to the inside line?
That really depends. I mean, the inside line is shorter, but debatably you can go quicker around the outside line. So when you hear me talk about momentum, if you watch a NASCAR race, you're going to see, you know, at tracks like Las Vegas and Atlanta, and sometimes even Bristol, have momentum on that outside, so a driver will be running side by side, but will eventually get the position by working the outside groove. And in fact, when they don't put traction compound on the Bristol Motor Speedway surface, the drivers are notorious for running right against the wall because you have so much momentum up there. So it really just depends on the configuration of the track and the turn itself.
So Manta, what do you think about right now? As this race goes along.
At the moment, so obviously Sonic Hawk needs to pit again because he hasn't done the soft medium thing yet. So he definitely needs to pit again. And at the moment, I reckon he will just be ahead of Liverpool FC. So he definitely needs to pit for the mediums and then again go for an aggressive style and get past these guys as quick as he can.
I think that'd be the main talking point. I think so. Is how big of a Sonic Hawk can get.
Yeah. And who's that? Stoxy 9's done.
Oh, he hasn't. He has Stoxy 9
with wing damage.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, wow.
Now that is unfortunate for Stoxy 9. He's having arguably his best race
Liverpool
of the season.
Pro has spun as well on the same corner. Oh, it's like a Gaming Things gets a penalty, Tim. One of the leaders has caught a penalty.
So Gaming Things running in second now has a 3-second time penalty. Proliver getting very close to Gaming Things. Where did he come from? Let's take a look at this battle between Proliver and Gaming Things now.
I think Gaming Things made a mistake.
Because, yeah, it was, what was it? It was like 2 seconds ahead of Pirelli at the time?
Yeah.
Lap 24 of 36. Proliver giving chase to Gaming Things into turn number 1. Racing Point versus Alfa Romeo. Gaming Things with a time penalty. Proliver with no time penalty at all. So if the race were to end now, Proliver would get that second position. But you know he doesn't want to get it through a technicality. He wants to get it on raw pace alone. And that is what he's doing right now, or at least trying to. But the story of the day, Zandvoort narrow, Zandvoort difficult to overtake, however you want to say it. It's both a blessing and a curse. This track produces such amazing racing, but at a cost of the lack of overtaking.
Stocksy 9's in for his stop. He's gone to the soft tyres, so that puts Liverpool SC Pro into 8th place now. 15 seconds behind Podge. It's Sonic Hawk, in my opinion, man, so I think Sonic Hawk will just get in front of... I think he'll get, pretty much have a good gap to Liverpool SC Pro when he comes in.
Yeah, so he won't need to worry about Liverpool FC at all. He could just carry on to push on and try and catch these guys.
Agreed.
So meanwhile, Kara does have a 7.5 second lead. We have not really had to talk about Kara much today because he is just checked out on the field.
Yeah, indeed so. Fair play to him. Kara's actually done very well. I mean, is that actually Dan in 5th? Where is that Dan in... Dan's near where Shallow answers. What happened to Dan? Did he just came out of... He hasn't stopped. But is he made a mistake somewhat, Mansell? It was quite a good fair bits ahead of Shadow.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't actually know what's happened to Energy Jump. And, Energy Jump.
Strange.
The AlphaTauri drivers have not really performed here today as well as we would have thought going into this race. And ironically, they're performing better in the race than they did in qualifying. They qualified 9th and 10th, and yet they're running 5th and 6th. Now, it looks like that's about to change because Shadowlancer and Racing Pod both have caught up to Energy Dan, and it looks like Shadowlancer's going to go around him. Will Energy Dan let his teammate by? No, he won't, and that's actually going to open the door for Racing Pod. And Podge Racing has contact with Shadowlancer, and Podge goes through the gravel, losing a lot of time to him now, and Shadowlancer losing about half a second to his teammate.
I know what's going on there. Well, Alfred Todd planning something there, and then Podge saw an opportunity. Dan's in. Dan's in from the hard tyres, Mansell. That's a bit interesting.
Very interesting. I wonder why he's done that then.
Fastest lap, possibly.
Possibly. But at the same time, are the hard struggling at this point or not?
In the carbon, they're only like 13 laps old. They're still fresh as roses. Well, not really fresh as roses, but I don't see any point of them going wearing off now.
No. That's very interesting from Energy Jam. I wonder why he stopped then.
Very big call.
I don't think it's the hard tires that are struggling so much as it was Energy Dan on the hard tires that was struggling. For some reason, it just didn't seem like he had the pace. You know, because we saw Sonic Hawk get by him, and then Sonic Hawk left him in the dust. But we kind of expected that maybe Energy Dan could close that gap once Sonic Hawk's tires aged a little bit. And that just simply did not happen.
Oh, Liverpool spun again! Please, come on, brother, please hang on. Please hang on. Keep going, bro. Come on. Come on, brother.
Well, he's running in 8th at the moment, Oliver, so he is doing okay, but as you said, he's going to have to hang on and not spin the car anymore, because you can only do that so many times before it ends badly for you. But so far, doing a decent job running in 8th place. He's kept the car mostly clean throughout the entire race.
I got my fingers crossed, I got my toes crossed, I got everything crossed to get that car in the points. I'm hoping and praying.
Meanwhile, it looks like Proliver's starting to catch gamey things once again.
Now, is it me, Tim, or is Pro Oliver playing to the penalties here? Because he's not really attacking gamey things here.
That might be what's happening, you know, because it looks like Proliver is actually faster than gamey things, and even a few laps ago, I was thinking that he would be able to get around him. But now that you mention it, I do think you're right about that he knows gamey things has that.
Sonic's in.
So Sonic definitely going to have to go for the medium tires now. I feel like maybe he stayed out a little bit longer than he should have on those soft tires. But I could be wrong about that. He doesn't have a time penalty. His teammate's got a time penalty, but what he does have that's working against him was the wing damage from earlier. Now, that's been fixed. He's changed his front wing, but arguably he could have had a podium here today, and now he's just trying to find room for a top 5.
Fair play to Cara though, Tim. We always known him for qualifying, and now he's actually performing well in the race, which is fair enough, Tim. Fair play.
Yeah, Cara has done a miraculous job today. He qualified on the pole. He got out to a very good start. Gamey gave him a little bit of a battle, but once he cleared him and stayed in front of him, he is just checked out. He has led almost every lap of this race. I think the only lap he didn't lead, or the only 2 laps he didn't lead, was during pit stops. Otherwise, he has dominated this race.
Pretty much so.
On board with Proliver as the battle with gamey things continues to heat up. A lot of time penalties on the board, though. Let's take a look at those for a moment, just so everyone has a nice idea of what's going on. So, Gamey Things has a 3-second time penalty. So, if the race were to end right now, Proliver would get that second position. Podge Racing has 6 seconds worth of time penalty, so that would mean that Sonic Hawk and Energy Dan would likely jump him in position if the race were to end now. But then the Bear has 3 seconds, Stoxy 9 has 6 seconds, Gizlodian with 3, Saneth with, is that 9 seconds? And then 3 seconds for Phantom Shadow. Or is that 5 seconds for Saneth?
Yeah, it says, now, as Level 50 Pro is still stuck behind Need for Speed's ass, he's not really getting any clear way. He's in a lap car, but Mads, if you're a lap car, I know you're ghosted in that, but would you let the lap car go through as fair play, or would you race on?
Well, you have to let them through at some point, otherwise you are going to get a penalty for it. But I would say it's good as long as you can before you get that penalty.
Yeah, because Level 50 Pro is still stuck behind Need for Speeds. Yes, a ghost car, but do you think that's a little bit of a distraction?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It goes towards Shadow. Ooh, close there for Podge. He wants to go for it now, don't he? Jesus.
A lockup from Shadow Lancer. Podge Racing looking very good through that corner. Sonic Hawk just ran the fastest lap on mediums with a 1:11.650. He's a man on a mission today.
He is. Indeed so. Indeed so he is. So, Manso, what do you think is going to happen going towards the final 6 laps then?
I'm expecting to see Sonic to definitely catch up with Shadow Lancer and Podge. I reckon Podge will probably just let Sonic Hawk through and try and battle Shadow Lancer if he can, and hopefully get P4 if he can. I think he'll be definitely happy with P4 today. And then the battle between Gamey Things and PR Oliver. I reckon PR Oliver should just stay back, because obviously Gamey Things got a 6-second penalty. The last thing you want is to battle with Gamey Things and then lose more time.
Fair due point.
So just a quick update for you. Kara in first, Gamey Things second, Proliver third, Shadow Lancer fourth, Podge Racing in fifth, Sonic Hawk sixth, seventh is Energy Dan, eighth is Liverpool FC Pro, Stoxy 9, and ninth, and the Bear in 10th. That's your top 10 for the time being. Lap 31 of 36 as you are watching Podge Racing try to chase down Shadow Lancer, but you got to remember that Ferrari driver has 6 seconds worth of time penalty, so if he wants fourth, he doesn't just have to get by it.
Oh, Stoxy 9 didn't hit the back of Level 1C Pro there, very close. He had to be really hard on the brakes to dodge him.
Now watching the battle with Stocksy 9 and Liverpool FC Pro on board with the Haas driver. Now, Liverpool FC Pro, as we mentioned, he is fighting for his first points ever in SFR. He has only been a full-time driver for 1 week. This is his second race as a full-time driver, and this is his fourth race of the season. He's raced every race except one. So he really, really wants these points.
Indeed, so if I was Liverpool FC Pro now, just let Stocksy 9 pass. He's on fresher sauce. Let him pass and run your own race. Cover yourself on the bear. 9th place is good enough for first points. If I was Liverpool FC Pro now, let Stocksy 9 pass. That'd be the only best solution for him. And I have to say, Mansell, I think Need for Speed did damage to Liverpool FC Pro's gap. There you go. Stocksy 9 gets past Liverpool. So, yeah, I think Liverpool FC Pro is listening. I think he's going to cover the bear and not fight Stocksy 9.
You know what? I would have done the exact opposite with him, with what you said, and actually battle with Stocksy 9.
Really?
Well, you got nothing to gain. You got nothing to lose, really.
But you're going to lose some more time to the bear, though, aren't you?
You would, but it's still the top 10.
9th place is better than nothing.
I mean, yeah. But if I was Liverpool FC Pro, I would battle him. In my personal opinion.
Because you're GP1. That's because you're a GP1 driver. That's why. Oh, I just thought. Here we go.
Maybe, but that was my personal opinion.
Side by side is Shadowlancer and Podge racing. A little bit of a wiggle from the Ferrari driver is going to put him back behind that AlphaTauri driver. And you know that's going to be frustrating as Shadowlancer locks up once again through lockup corner.
You have to admit, Tim, that Shadowlancer's defending's been nothing but brilliant today.
It really has. Shadowlancer has improved massively from last season. We've been saying that for the first 5 races now of this season. But we're seeing today that it's not just his pace that's improved. He is able to defend now. That, like, his defensive maneuvers have improved. He's not being overly aggressive. He's not cutting anyone off. He's just simply fast enough and smart enough to keep these drivers behind him.
Here's Sonic Hawk. He's joined the battle now.
Yeah, he has joined the party. I think this is what Ferrari are planning.
And Sonic Hawk with absolutely everything to gain here. Our points leader, he is now beyond a race in the points lead. Even if he did not score points in this race today, he would still have the points lead as he goes around his teammate. But
exactly what I said.
Each position he gets, he will be able to increase that gap.
Shadowlancer, I turn that man, so Shadowlancer's in for a challenge now, isn't he?
Oh, definitely. Just like I said, I did say Podge would let Sonic Hawk through, and he's doing exactly that. And now he's definitely going to go for Shadowlancer.
Oh, it's going to be exciting.
Now they're coming up on the DRS straight here. And Sonic Hawk and Shadowlancer, they battled it out here before. They're going to just do it again. Sonic Hawk using the slipstream and the DRS, but he's not close enough to do a lot with it. Another lockup from the AlphaTauri. Sonic Hawk, he being cool as a cucumber through that corner, but not close enough to think about making a move. Let's see if he's able to get a run out of this corner.
And Podge got another penalty. That's 9 seconds for Podge. The dad's within striking distance. If you get within 9 seconds of it, and here we go to Podge and Shadow, and Podge gets him. Sonic gets Shadow. Beautiful work there from Sonic Hawk.
So Sonic Hawk, I think now his best bet is to just defend. There's no way that he is going to be able to make up the 6 seconds required to pass gamey things after the time penalties. So the best thing he can do is just defend, keep Shadowlancer behind him, and hope for the best when it comes to the situation with gamey things. He is gaining a little bit, but it's lap 35 of 36. There's just not enough time to overcome that gap.
And I think we missed the overtake between gaming things and PR Oliver, because Oliver's got past gaming things.
He has, hasn't he? overtake him on the DRS straight.
So lap 36 of 36 now. The final lap for Kara as he's making his way through the first 3 and 4 corners. Gamey Things just now going into turn number 1. He is in third, Proliver in second, but Sonic Hawk and Shadowlancer still very close as they're beginning their final lap now. Oh, and Podge spins! Podge spun in turn 1 again! He clipped the curve!
Racing Podge! Oh no! And Dad's all over him!
So Podge, he's just wanting this race to end at this point.
You're not joking.
And, you know, he still might be able to get points here today, so it's not going to be a horrible
Have a good
loss.
car, Tim.
And here is Kara, rounding the final corner. He got the pole. He's going to get the win. Look at him celebrate as he crosses the line. Kara will win the Zandvoort Grand Prix. Proliver in the Alfa Romeo rounding the final corner now. He's going to get a podium in second place. Gamey Things going to come home in third. But with time penalties, will he be able to keep it? I think so. Sonic Hawk coming home in fourth as he crosses the line in front of Shadowlancer for fifth. Gamey Things will keep the podium. Sonic Hawk fourth, Shadowlancer fifth. Podge Racing going across the line in sixth, but he will be demoted to probably the 8th position at least. Let's see what happens here. He's in 7th now. I think he will be able to keep 7th.
Yeah, Stocksy Knight's like 60 seconds behind, he'll be fine.
Liverpool FC Pro is going to jump Stocksy here. Stocksy's got a 5-second penalty.
Oh, he will. Come on then. 8th place to Liverpool. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes. Come on, bro. You little legend.
You know, Oliver, have you ever watched the 2001 Daytona 500? I mean, obviously we know that it had a very sad ending, but it also had a brother cheering on a brother to the win, and that's what that reminded me of for you just then.
Oh, mate. So happy for him.
So Liverpool FC Pro gets his first points ever in SFR in his rookie season in GP4, while Kara celebrates his first win of the season with Proliver and Gamey Things rounding out the podium.
Did you enjoy your first race, Mansell?
I loved it. Absolutely fantastic. Well done to Kara as well for getting that win. Absolutely dominant from him.
So we will get Kara, Proliver, and Gamey Things into the chat to talk to them here very shortly. But first, here is your official finishing results for the GP4 series. Zandvoort Grand Prix, Kara in the Renault getting the win with Proliver in the Alfa Romeo in second. Third is Gamey Things in the Racing Point. Fourth is Sonic Hawk. Fifth, Shadowlancer in the AlphaTauri. And the AlphaTauri teammate of Energy Dan in sixth, Podge Racing. In seventh, eighth is Liverpool FC Pro, scoring his first points ever. Stocksy 9 in ninth. The Bear in 10th, Gislodian in 11th, 12th is Seneth, Phantom Shadow in 13th, 14th is Need for Speed, Lewis in 15th, Otaku Logan in 16th, 17th is It's Your Boy Alfie, BXI in 18th, and 19th is Fanny Lion. So we'll get our top 3 podium finishers in the race, or excuse me, in the party to talk to them and hear their thoughts on the race.
My brother just came in, he's so happy. My brother just came in. Bless him. Well, let's even get gaming things in that lot, Lynn. Okay. Here goes the fun part. Let's have a look. Gamey Things. There he is. Let's soon get him in. Proliver messaged me, Tim, that he will be coming in for an interview.
That he will or will not?
No.
Alright, so we will just be able to talk to Gamey Things and Kara, hopefully.
Let's see, gamey things. Yep, got him in. There he is. I got gamey things in. I do Cara's name as D underscore something.
Yes. Hold on just a minute. I'll see if I can get the official name for you.
So it's D underscore Cara Foley with underscore G. Is really, really weird name.
I got him.
Okay.
It's with the 6 at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Right, they're on their way. So, that's GP4 done for the day, Tim. Onward to Spain now. Another difficult track on tyres.
That it will be. And Spain is one of those, well, I say it every week. One of those tracks I don't like. One of those tracks I don't like. One of those tracks I don't like. But Spain is just a different animal altogether, especially the last 3 corners.
Yeah. Gaming Things is here.
So we'll give Cara just a minute to see if he is able to join or not. Otherwise, we will just be talking to Gamey Things. But Cara is in here, so we'll give him just a minute to get everything situated.
Hello.
Alright, so we're going to start the interviews now. So, Cara, Gamey Things, before we do anything, please make sure that you have your voice set to allowed to be shared. If you don't know how to do that, go over to the party settings and click Always Allow, and let me know when you're ready.
Should be ready to go.
Alright, well, we will start off with Gamey Things. So, Gamey, you are finishing in 3rd place here today. You started 2nd. You're dropping back just 1 position. Another podium for you, though, so you've got to be happy with this consistency. Do you think that if you'd been able to challenge Cara a little bit more on the start, that you could be standing on the top spot of the podium, or are you just happy with the podium here today in general?
Well, for today, I think it went alright. I think it was, I would say a podium is a brilliant bounce back from what stupidness I went through last week in China. I tried to keep up with it, but me and this track don't really agree with each other so much, so I had to really think about that, and he just drove off. But podium, I'm completely happy with it.
Have you got any questions for Gaming Things, Mansell?
Trying to think of one.
I mean, how did the race plan out for you then, Gamey, anyway? How was the race planned out for you from the start?
Well, I obviously started 2nd, which is a brilliant place. Honestly, I thought that it may go like a bit optimistic thing and be like China, overtaking at the 1st corner, but that didn't happen. But tried to keep him. I was keeping up with him, but then tyres started to get off me. It's a nightmare here, tyre life for me. But tried to keep it to the end, and I'm just thankful those hard tyres held on for me, because I'm pretty sure they were close to popping. So that wasn't very fun, but kept it nice and clean. Everything. It was just nice, and it's a nice race.
Any of you lads want to question Mr. Gamey?
So, obviously, because you are high in the championship at the moment, are you going for the championship, or are you just going to take it race by race and see what happens?
Well, obviously, the objective is to obviously everyone will obviously try to win the championship. That's what everyone tries to do, but it's a long road throughout the season, and Sonic Hawk, even though closed in a bit on him today, it's still he's still quite a distance away. So, but just take it one race at a time. It may continue the trend like this, maybe close some in, but some races may not. We'll just have to see how the season goes.
What about you, Tim?
I think that is it for Gamey, but hey, you know what? Congratulations, Gamey. I know you're waiting on that first win of the season. It's going to come soon. We're always talking about you. You're the driver that's always there for a podium. Just a couple more spots and you'll get there, man.
Who knows? Maybe in Baku, like I said.
Maybe
Is it
so.
Baku next or Spain?
It's Spain next, I think.
Yeah, it's Spain. You see, it's not Baku yet.
I know. I'm just saying. That's where I won last season, so maybe then.
True.
So now let's take a look at Kara. Now, Kara, I would ask you about your race, but it was actually rather uneventful. You look like you were out on a Sunday drive. Where did this speed come from? Because you have shown a lot of improvement this season, but to win by such a large margin, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, very impressive. Third of all, was it as easy for you as it seemed like it was from our perspective?
Are you Dutch, by the way, Cara? I'm trying to tell your voice. You're Dutch. Oh, right, because you sound very Dutch. Fair enough. Just wanted to know. So, yeah, Gamey said before about the tyres, about how hard it is on Zandvoort due to the bank corners. Is tyre degradation that hard around Zandvoort? What about you, Mansell?
Oh, hello?
Did we lose Mansell?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, right, hello. Yeah, so, you were so dominant in the race, let me tell you that. Is Zandvoort a strong circuit for you or not?
That suits me very well, and I'm very happy. It's one of my best tracks in the game, so I'm happy for my performance.
Because we all know for you, Cara, for you to be a man that's so great and qualified but don't deliver in the race, is that starting to change now? And España coming up? Spain. And one more question from me, Cara, because you transferred for, what was it? You drove the Red Bull, I think was last season. Was it Red Bull last season you drove? I'm trying to think now, because you were partnering with someone. I think it was Snellweg, yeah. You were driving McLaren last year. You drove for McLaren. So, what's it like driving from Renault, from McLaren to Renault? Is it a lot more better? You prefer Renault. Nice.
Well, congratulations, Kara, on your win, the first win of the season for you, and I'm sure that you're looking forward to a lot more from here on out. We'll be taking a look at you, but I think that's just about all that we have time for. So thank you so much for everyone who watched. Thank you for all the drivers who raced. Congratulations to our podium finishers, and you know what? Thank you to Mansell for jumping in here and substituting for Oliver before he was able to make it. And then thank you, Oliver, for joining us later on. And until next time, good evening, good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Have fun, and goodbye.